Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Pastor Gary Whiteley, pastor of Fredericton Word of Faith Family Church, and I want to thank you for watching in. We have a little segment that we called Do You Have Time for a Story? And we saw in the teaching we did yesterday that Jesus never spoke without telling a story during his sermons and messages. And so it says in Mark chapter 4, verse 33 and 34, and with many such parables and stories spoke he the word unto them as they were able to hear it. But without a parable spoke he not unto them. And when they were alone, he expounded all things to his disciples. Jesus was a master storyteller. The congregations, the multitudes, the masses loved to hear the stories. And sometimes the Sadducees, the Pharisees were there and they perceived that they thought maybe that story was kind of against them. But there was always deeper truths that were in the stories. The story was just simply a surface story to help relay some deeper truths. And so today we want to talk a little bit about the ministry of angels. Again, this is an area that a lot of churches and denominations, maybe on paper, might believe in these things, especially around Christmas time. But the angels are a reality. Just as demons are a reality, so are angels. And so angels are God's ministering spirits. Hebrews 1:14, it says, are they not all ministering spirits sent forth for the heirs of salvation? Now angels, the Greek term is angelos, which means messengers. They deliver messages. And so, but they do quite a number of things. I just want to talk to you about one aspect of it today. And that is angels are able to help deliver us out of times of trouble. And so it says over in Matthew chapter 1, where Joseph is betrothed to Mary, and he has an issue when he finds out that she's pregnant. He's deeply concerned about it. And it says that he was privately minded to put Mary away. He could have had her killed. She would, apparently, to all intents and purposes, had some type of a sexual relation encounter with somebody. Now she's pregnant. And so but he did love her, and he did not want her to suffer more than she was going to suffer. And so he had made up his mind so that he was going to put her away. And so an angel appears to Joseph in the nighttime and says to Joseph, don't be afraid to take her as your wife, because that child that is there is from the Holy Spirit. And so it's interesting to note that God couldn't communicate to Joseph concerning Mary until he went to sleep. So when you go to sleep, your defenses, your walls are down, and the angel was able to come and minister to him. So just a little side trip there. But then again, also in chapter 2, the wise men have come. They've told Herod about the birth of the king, and he said that he would like to know where this king is at so he could come and worship. But his intention was to kill that king, kill the baby Jesus. And so the wise men, being warned, just went another direction to go home, and Herod was really, really angry. And so it says, and when, in chapter 2, verse 13, and when they departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeareth to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I can bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. So we see this angel has the ability to come and to bring a warning, to help Joseph and Mary and the baby to flee out of that area, out of Nazareth, not Nazareth, but out of Bethlehem, and then head to Egypt. We also see in Acts chapter 12 that Peter has been arrested, James has been killed by Herod, and now Peter is about to be executed. But the church was praying. The church began to pray, and the church began to wake up, and they began to intercede for Peter. And so it just simply says, in verse 7, it says, "And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison. And he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, Arise quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. And the angel said unto him, Gird thyself, bind upon thy sandals. And so he did, and he saith unto him, Cast thy garment about thee, and follow me. And when he went out, and he followed him, and did not know that it was true which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. And when they were past the first and second ward, they came unto the iron gate which leads to the city, which opened unto them of its own accord. And they went out and passed through one street, and thenceforth the angel departed from him." So we find that the angel was able to bring some deliverance to Peter. Notice it said that a bright light happened when in that dark prison. You got time for a story right now? Many years ago, it would have been back in the 1976, 77. I got my hands on a book by Billy Graham called Angels, Angels, Angels. And it was my first really, reading about angels. There was a little more in depth to it than just what other things I'd read. And so I remember one night, it was late at night, and in reading the book, I thought, well, what I need to do is I need to pray. And I'm going to ask the Lord to see my angel, because we all Christians have an angel. And so I prayed that the Lord would send me an angel. And when I prayed that, around the corner of my living room, there was a hallway that went down to the bedrooms. And suddenly a very bright light appeared, and I could just see it reflecting off the walls from where I was at. And I could see that this light was very bright, and that it was coming. I could see it moving down the walls, coming where it was going to come around the corner and come to me. And up to that point, I was very brave. I want to see my angel. But when that light appeared, suddenly a great fear came across me, and almost like a holy terror. And I remember I found myself on my face, on my knees, crying out to the Lord, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. And so my first encounter with an angel didn't go so well for me. Today I think I probably would be a little bit more ready for that. But I don't recommend that you pray to see your angels either. But if you have time for another story, let me share this with you. The Lord had spoke to me back in about 1980. I must say about 1988, 89. He wanted me to go to Nigeria, West Africa. I'd been sending some information to a pastor there, helping him, sending him some money, some books and cassettes and different things to help him with his faith. And so the Lord spoke to me and said, I want you to go to Nigeria, West Africa. And so reluctantly, I did agree to go. But the Lord had to get very firm with me and stern with me, because I'd gotten into an argument with the Lord. I didn't really realize I was arguing, but he said, I want you to go. And I said, I'm not going. And he said, I want you to go. I said, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going. Don't even ask. I'm not going to Africa. And then I realized that I was having an argument with the Lord. And so I did repent, but I pulled the ace out of my sleeve, and I said, okay, Lord, but the only way I'll go is if you send me with an experienced missionary that knows how to travel, because I'd never done any missionary work. I'd never traveled out of the country particularly. And so I was at camp meeting with Kenneth Hagin. They called a break, and I went out to either find the bathroom or find me a coffee. And I hardly had gotten out of my seat and got into the hallway, and I ran right into world famous evangelist Dale Begley. And Brother Begley said to me, Brother Whiteley, it's good to see you. What's the Lord been talking to you about? And so I had to tell him, I said, the Lord just told me he wanted me to go to Nigeria, West Africa. He said, you know what, I've never been to Nigeria, West Africa. I'd love to go with you. And so that we became a team then, and we did travel to Nigeria, West Africa. We took another gentleman with us by the name of Wally. Of course, there's a lot more to that story than that, but that's the brief version. And so as we were coming into the airport, we were supposed to be met by some ministers that would escort us around security, because you did not want to go through security in Nigeria and Lagos at that particular time. It was a very rough place. A lot of machine guns, a lot of soldiers, people were being pushed around, hollered at. And in my suitcase, I had loaded my one suitcase up with all these different kind of seeds and things that they could grow in Nigeria. And there was this big, huge sign that said it was illegal to bring in seeds and anything else into Nigeria. And so I'm coming into the airport that we're walking in, and I see these signs, and I'm thinking, dear Lord, I'm not supposed to have this. And somebody was supposed to meet us, and they didn't meet us. And so now we are coming into the security section, and we're going to have to put our suitcases up on the counter. We're going to have to show everything that we've got. And I can see how they're treating other people. They're very, very rough with people, and I'm thinking, dear Lord, I got a whole suitcase full of contraband. I mean, they're gonna arrest me. They're gonna throw me in jail, and the whole mission trip is going to be just a bust. And so, as we got closer, finally, I got to the place that the gentleman hollered at me. He said, "Put your suitcase up on the counter." And so, reluctantly, I put my suitcase up on the counter, and when I did, suddenly there was standing alongside of me, just behind me, a very, very tall black man. And he said to me, and Brother Wally, and to Dale Begley, because they had their suitcases and they were down on the floor getting ready to have theirs inspected. And he said to me very firmly, he said, "Pick up your suitcase and follow me." And he said it with such authority and such power. I never questioned it. I just picked it up, and I looked up. I looked up at that man, and I thought, my gosh, is he big and tall? And so he said, "Follow me." And so we all picked up our suitcases. We all followed him. We went a short distance, and in front of us was some double doors, and he opened the double doors, which led to the outside. He went outside ahead of us, and I followed, and Brother Begley followed, and Wally followed, and so when we got outside, it's wide open. There's no place to go. I sat my suitcases down. I just simply turned my head to make sure Brother Begley was behind me. And when I turned back, this black man had suddenly disappeared. There's no place to go. And so I realized that we had been delivered by an angel. You say, well, I didn't know there were black angels. I don't care what color they are. When you need deliverance, you need somebody to come in and to bring deliverance to you. And so Wally saw it, Brother Begley saw it, I saw it. And the thing was, when he spoke with such power, with such authority. It's not like you were afraid, but you just instantly obeyed. So if you have time for another little story, I have a little bit shorter one concerning angels. Over the years, I've had a number of encounters with angels. My son Greg has had a lot more encounters. And so if you've ever had a prayer answered, you've had some type of an encounter with an angel. But for some reason, the Lord has let me have some experiences with angels. And one time back in Michigan, we had a pickup truck that had the tailgate had to be slammed very, very hard for it to be securely closed. And so I had been doing some work with the truck and loading some stuff up, and I was getting ready to put the tailgate back up. You had to push very hard, and it had these pincher bars at that time on both sides, and when you would close it, it would pinch shut. And so I did notice that my son Greg, he was about 6 years old, was standing there. He had actually put his hands on the pincher bar, and I didn't see that. And so when I grabbed the tailgate, I went to shove it as hard as I could. And in so doing, if I would have been able to have done that, I would have severed all of Greg's fingers. But a hand grabbed my arm as I went to push, and it was so strong it stopped. Even though it was only grabbed by my one arm, it also paralyzed my other arm, and it grabbed me, and I couldn't shut it. And Greg goes, "Ouch!" And then I realized that he had his hands in that pincher bar. And so the only answer is there's an angel came. Did I see the angel? No, but I certainly felt the angel. It tells us over in Hebrews chapter 12, it says, be careful of strangers, for some have entertained angels unaware. And so angels can come in different shapes. They can take the shape of just regular people. And you might not even know it, but you know what? I always try to be kind and polite, sometimes maybe to a person that's on the street, begging or something like that, looking for a handout. I'm not certain that maybe they're not an angel, and so I try to be kind, I try to be generous. And if you have time for one more little story, happened here in the church. Now, we do have angels that come into our services on a very, very regular basis. And I'm quite aware of them when they come in, and other people are too. And so the service, people were just kind of coming in, and there was a new man that was there. Garnet Urquhart was out the door. He was our greeter. Garnet knew everybody in Fredericton, it seemed like, because he was a head real estate agent, top real estate agent. And so I saw this gentleman sitting over by the side of the sanctuary, and I went over and I shook hands with him, and I told him who I was, and he just kind of smiled at me, didn't say too much to me. And I remember thinking, oh, I wonder if this guy, I wonder if he's an angel. And so the service started, and I didn't want to turn around and look back and see if he was still there, because I thought, well, that'd be kind of rude. And so I didn't. And but when I did get up to go to the pulpit, I noticed that the man was missing. He wasn't there anymore. And so I went, after the service, I found Garnet, and I said, who was that man that came in early in the service? And Garnet said, well, I was here early. I was the first one here. And there was nobody came in. There was no new stranger. There was nobody here. And I said, well, Garnet, I went over and I shook hands with him. He said there was, I said, and he left by the time I got up to the pulpit. He says, I was there standing at the door when you went up to the pulpit. I was there that whole time. No man came in, no man came out. I will swear to that. And so, again, angels can appear in human form. They can look like regular people. And so it just simply tells us that some have entertained angels unaware. So, and I try to be nice to everybody, because you never know that there could be an angel there. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Angels are real. They're ministering spirits. Hebrews 1:14, are they not all ministering spirits sent forth for the heirs of salvation? The angels are there to help us. The angels are there to be a blessing. They can help protect us. They can help bring some guidance to us. They can just be of great assistance in many ways. They do many, many things. And so when we realize that angels are real and we have an understanding, you can take advantage of some of the things that God has provided for you. Well, thank you for listening. God bless. It was a pleasure and a joy to spend some time with you this afternoon. Be sure to share this with some of your friends. Share it on Facebook. These things go all over the world, and somebody needs to hear it today. God bless you. Thank you so much. Amen.